Hello, just want to talk about just a reminder and review of going over how to measure the tools you would use for classifying matter. You would use a ruler, a thermometer, a scale. You can also classify by the way they look, and you can use these different tools for science. The triple beam scale is really important for measuring mass. Liquid has helped to do the relative density. Shows another example here. But this is what we're going to get into, is we're talking about how different states of matter change based on introducing temperature. And just a reminder, solid is definitely a definitive volume, definitive shape, like wood, rock, dust. Liquid is definite volume, a definitive volume, no definitive shape, takes the shape of the container. Water, tears, gasoline. And the no definitive volume, no definitive shape keeps expanding to fill space. Air, carbon dioxide, helium. So with those things, we wanted to start discussing the particles that are tightly packed, right? And they move back and forth but do not slide past one another. Solids keep its shape. Ice is a solid state of water. So you hear that ice is a solid state of water. Liquids particles are closely packed but free to slide past one another. The materials will flow to take the shape of its container. When water vapor cools down, gas, it becomes a liquid like water droplets for condensation. If you ever had like a water bottle, and on the outside of it, it starts the warm air or the cool air will hit the can, a cold can, and then it'll have condensation on the outside, the liquid from the outside from the air. And that's condensation. And you also see that on the ground outside early in the morning. And the particles in a gas move loosely and freely throughout its container. Not only does gas take the shape of their container, they also expand to fill the volume of the containers. Water as a gas, water vapor, has these characteristics. Basically the steam. This is very important. Water freezes when the temperature drops below 0 degrees Celsius. We're talking about Celsius. A lot of times I do Celsius. It's just a lot easier, right? Ice melts when the temperature rises above 0 degrees. So above it, it starts to melt. Water boils when the temperature rises above 100 degrees Celsius. This is really important, that the boiling refers to water that has reached 100 degrees Celsius through the entire liquid. Students can see the bubbles of water vapor rising throughout the water and escape the boiling pot. That's where the liquid vapors are going and moving past. Evaporation, on the other hand, is only a surface phenomenon that occurs as the temperature lower than the boiling point, where molecules escape into the air on a regular basis. Tomorrow we're going to talk about mixtures, but before we do that, I have a video I want you to quickly watch. I'm going to find it right here. Nope. Give me a second, I do apologize. Changes in states. All right.
Changes in the states of matter. Objective: to learn the properties of matter and how matter changes its states. Anything that occupies space is called matter. Matter exists in 3 states called solids, liquids, and gases. Solids will not change their shape. When we put an ice cube in a beaker, the ice cube will not change its shape. Inside a solid, the molecules or particles are closely packed and they do not move around. Liquids change their shape according to the container. When we pour water into a round bowl or into a glass, water will take the shape of the containers. Inside the liquids, the particles are arranged apart and they can move around. Many gases are invisible, but the particles of gases move fast and are spread out. Let's look at how matter changes its forms. An ice cube is a solid. When heated, the solid will convert to a liquid. The conversion of solid into liquid is called melting. If we heat water, it will slowly boil and vapors begin to appear. Vapors are the gaseous form of a liquid. The conversion of liquid into gas is called evaporation. Let's take a few ice cubes in a beaker and leave it aside for a few minutes. We can see water drops forming on the outside of the beaker. The vapor that is in the air gets in contact with the cold temperature of the beaker and will convert the ice into a liquid. The conversion of gas into liquid is called condensation. Let's keep water in a freezer. After some time, we can see that the water is turned into solid ice. Lowering the temperature converts liquids into solids. The conversion of liquids to solids is called freezing. Summary. Melting is the conversion of a solid into a liquid. Evaporation is the conversion of a liquid into a gas. Condensation is the conversion of a gas into a liquid. Freezing is the conversion of a liquid into a solid.
All right, guys. All right, that's just how temperature changes the states of matter. So that's just our lesson for today for science, and we just had some class discussions about it. And there you go.